So California and New York are planning to ban the sale of new cars that are gas powered by the year 2035. So in this video, I will be discussing some of the cons that are associated with fully switching to electric vehicles. Now, although there are some good benefits to switching to electric vehicles, it is important to note the cons of switching. So, to start off with, access to charging. Because America's EV charging infrastructure is still rather weak, it can be difficult to find an available charger, let alone a functional one. Depending on where you live, some charging stations can have lines, and the time it takes to charge is still not fully optimized. For now, using an at home charger is the most cost effective and efficient way to charge an electric vehicle. Which brings me to my next point, the long term effects on the power grid. So the move to electric vehicles will result in heavy costs for generating, transmitting, and storing more power. With the current model, majority of EV owners charge their cars in the evening or overnight at home, which at scale can seriously strain our electric grid. In a study done by Stanford, they found that in a little over a decade, rapid EV growth alone could increase peak electricity demand by up to 25%. In February, total sales of EVs in California reached 1 million, and the state is targeting 5 million EVs on the road by 2030. Once 50% of cars on the road are powered by electricity, more than 5.4 gigawatts of energy storage will be needed to support current charging habits. That capacity of energy is equivalent to five large nuclear power reactors. The state will need to install more natural gas power generators or overpriced large scale energy storage if the majority of EVs continue to charge at night. Power is also lost from the extra stop when electricity travels to a large battery first and then to an EV battery. On a local level, if a third of the homes in a neighborhood have electric vehicles, and owners continue to charge overnight, the local grid could quickly become unstable. Just this summer of 2022, California actually declared a power grid emergency due to extremely hot temperatures nearing and even surpassing 110 degrees. As heat waves across the globe continue to ramp up every year, what effect does that have on the electric grid? Electricity and extreme heat are not a good kind of combination. This extreme heat also threaten blackouts. And what would happen when the electric grid goes dark and you can't even charge your vehicle? Which now brings me to my next point, battery life and the cost of that. So, according to the United States Department of Energy, the expected life of an EV's battery pack is between 10 and 12 years. Once a battery pack dies, replacing it is rather expensive. As of now, battery packs cost thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars to replace. And with global supply chain issues still a thing, replacing a Tesla battery can cost $10,000 to $13,000 just for the battery, depending on the model, plus labor fees. Every electric car sold in the US, though, has a battery warranty that lasts 8 years or roughly 100,000 miles. But with the current state of climate change, these batteries may not actually last that long. And also, with the current state of the supply chain issues going on, replacing those batteries will not be cheap whatsoever. Cars operating in extremely hot or extremely cold conditions will drain the battery a lot faster than normal. So during the month of October, Hurricane Ian kind of caused massive amounts of damage to Florida, and firefighters said that they had to deal with lots of corroded EV batteries due to waterlogging. Massive amounts of water and batteries are not a good duo. According to the CFO of Florida, he said that that's a new challenge that their firefighters haven't faced before, at least on this kind of scale. With extreme heat in California and all around the globe, plus the annual hurricane season that happens in Florida, we have yet to truly discover the long term effects of fully switching to electric vehicles, and we don't know if we can actually handle it or what may happen. We are still kind of in the trial and error stage, in my opinion. But there's still a lot of important work that needs to be done in this space in order to ensure this transition is safe for us and for the environment. But with President Biden signing the bipartisan infrastructure bill, it's showing some signs that future improvements can be on the way, as they do plan to have this happen by 2035. So we have roughly, what is that, 13 years before we fully implement this idea. This bill included a $7.5 billion funding for EV chargers, which will be good for the grid, hopefully. But I will dive deeper into the pros of actually switching to EVs and give a more optimistic look in the next video. I hope you did gain some insight from this video, a little bit more understanding on some of the cons associated with fully switching over to electric vehicles. Regardless, though, if you did, I would appreciate it if you could leave a like. And maybe leave a comment if you have some opinions on the topic. Maybe we can have a dialogue in the comment section. And also be sure to subscribe for more information that you might enjoy.